Protect your peace. Protect your peace at all costs. I know you've been told that maybe protecting your peace is selfish. And a lot of times the reason why you feel that is because you've found yourself being responsible for people all the time, caring about people all the time, except caring about yourself. And now that you find in a position where you need to care about yourself, you feel like it's selfish. You feel like now that you take care of and time for yourself, that is selfish. But it's not. Protecting your peace has nothing to do with selfishness. And I feel like our society has minimized it to self-care, self-life. And don't get me wrong, I love self-life. I love taking care of myself. But protecting your peace is not about that. And before you even know how to protect peace, you need to know what is peace. Sometimes I even see young people, right? And a lot of times with my friends, we'll be like, oh, because they don't have bills to think about. No, they have bills to think about, thank God, not yet. But like they don't have deadlines to think about, they don't have school. And ignorance, when you're young gives you peace. But what about when you grow up and you can't be ignorant anymore? When you are even in this society where we're filled with so much information, how can you have peace then? The only thing that I can say is understand why you don't have peace. For me personally, as someone who grew up in an environment where I had to make sure that I was the best, because that was the way that I thought would have made me achieve everything I wanted to do. Growing up thinking that I had to have everything in control, plan everything, and everything had to go according to how I had planned it to make sure that I had the perfect life that I wanted was enough to make sure that life was perfect. I thought that was peace. And now I am on my early 20s, looking at life and realizing that I can't have control of everything. I can't have control how people feel. I can't have control of the world. I can't have control of the challenges that I might face or the people that I love might face. I don't have control of that. And if I keep trying to have control of that, I will not have peace. I will never experience peace. And the reason why right now I'm able to experience I have peace is because I have let go and let God. And it reminds me of Peter when he was walking on water, when he was looking to Jesus, but then he started drowning because he started looking at the wind. Some of us are like that. Some of us, we start looking at the wind, we start looking at the things that are coming at us, and we start drowning and we start losing the focus on Jesus, the source of peace, the Prince of Peace. And I can't talk about peace without talking about letting go and letting God. Because when I did that, I received peace. And I realized the treasure that we've been given of peace through Jesus. And peace is intentional. You need to choose what you're giving power to. Look at the world right now. Imagine if my peace depended on the world's peace. I will never be in peace because this world is crazy. Wow. But because I realized that the peace doesn't come from the world and I'm not going to wait for the world to be in peace before I am in peace, I live a life of peace. Peace doesn't mean that I don't care about others. Peace doesn't mean that I don't get agitated when I see the injustices of the world. But peace means that I have peace within myself. A lot of times, and this is something I'm discovering, is we take our phone not because we really want to be scrolling, but because we are running from ourselves, because we don't have peace within ourselves. I feel like society has minimized peace into just self-care and taking care of ourselves, going to the spa, because we don't really know the meaning of peace. But the thing is, if you don't have peace within yourself, all of these things will be peaceful in the moment, but they will not give you peace. And we talk about protecting your peace and that being a mantra that people use to encourage selfishness is because a lot of us are tired of people. We've been hurt by people, and because of that, we don't want to deal with people anymore and we rather be alone. So we use the excuse, I'm going to protect my peace. But as someone who loves community, I'm telling you, community is the best thing that you could ever have. But that doesn't mean that you should allow people to determine your peace. And you're probably asking as well, like, how do I protect my peace without being selfish? I haven't been taught how to do that. I've always been taught to take care of others, but haven't been taught to take care of myself without being selfish. Well, it's a process. You need to get to a point where you understand that it will be uncomfortable. You have to outgrow the mindset that have kept you in a place of anxiety, doubt. The thing I'm realizing is protecting my peace is an action, is a continual intentional action of protecting the treasure that God has given me. Because as you're keeping your eyes on God and having peace, you will have distractions. You will have things coming at you. You will have things reminding you that there is, that wind reminding you that you're actually like, there's a lot happening. You should be having anxiety right now. You should be doubting right now. You have a lot of things that will come for your peace. And this is why it's very important that you learn how to protect it. And that is a daily choice. Ask yourself, how am I going to daily protect my peace? And it comes with boundaries, as I talked about in the last episode. It comes with choices. It comes to saying, what am I going to give myself access to? And sometimes it means even being harsh. It means even not being liked by people. Let me tell you something. If your peace comes from being liked by people, when people will not like you, you go crazy. You're probably wondering, why wouldn't people like me? I'm a nice person. If you pass your whole life not having boundaries, when you start putting boundaries, you will face resistance. Because people will start calling you selfish for saying, I'm just protecting my peace. People will try and guilt trip you to keep you in a space without boundaries, because there's some people that are enjoying from your lack of boundaries. And when you start raising them, you make them uncomfortable, and they will call you protecting your peace, oh, she's just being selfish now. She's in a new era. She's being selfish. Why am I saying this? I'm saying this because even when you know peace, even when we know what real peace is, we don't protect it because we are scared that people are going to call us selfish. And don't get me wrong, a lot of times we are being selfish in protecting our peace because it's not coming from a place of healing, but it's coming from a place of coping mechanism. You're using protecting your peace to isolate yourself. You're using protecting your peace to do what you want to do. You're using protecting your peace to be satisfied of where you are. That's not what protecting your peace is. Protecting your peace is not about you not challenging yourself. And this is why it was very important for me that I defined that your peace should come from the right source. Because when you realize that your peace is given by God, you guard it. And you realize that protecting your peace is actually guarding what God has given you. And when you're guarding what God has given you, you make sure that the benefit that needs to come from guarding that treasure comes out in the best way possible. So you won't use it to be lazy. You use it to become what He has called you to be. You will use the excuse of protecting your peace to not challenge yourself. You actually say, look, how can I challenge myself to make sure that I can benefit from protecting the treasure that God has given me? It's very important to know what are the words that you're receiving telling you. A lot of times we have people speaking unto us, and sometimes even after conversation, you feel like, wow, I feel more anxious than I was before. Why? Because the person that you're giving access to your peace actually want you to be anxious. There's been times where I have to cut off people, not because I'm a bad person, but because I realized, no, they were undermining, they were leading me to step back, to going back to who I was before, and they were undermining the new peace that I had found. To find peace is to say, what am I going to do intentionally to make sure that my eyes are focused on God? What am I doing intentionally to make sure that I am not trying to control everything, but I am letting go? A lot of us are really into a space where, or even coaches have taught us that peace means to be quiet and not to speak up. Peace means that don't not disturb anyone, not make anyone uncomfortable. And because of it, when we say protect your peace, people think that I'm telling you be selfish. No, I am saying keep your eyes focused on the source of peace and make sure that any distraction or anything that is coming between you and that is removed and is cut off. And that comes with boundaries. Hold up those boundaries. But yeah, hopefully after this episode, you will find peace. Hopefully after this episode, you realize that you trying to find your peace is not selfish and that you protect it at all costs because it's a treasure that's been given to you through Jesus. But yeah, thank you so much for listening. I appreciate it all and I'll speak to you very soon. Bye. Ciao, ciao.